Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. WTF is the unstoppable Gorg? Well, this is a tower defense game. That might be a bit disappointing for you, isn't it? It's like, what an amazing name! The Unstoppable Gorg! It's a tower defense game. Anyway, this is a tower defense game by Futuremark Game Studio. This is actually quite a small game studio funded by the Futuremark guys. Yes, that's that big benchmark tool you can download to say whether or not your computer is big enough and whether or not your e-penis is engorged enough. Whatever the case, it is the second game by this studio. They came up with a game called Shattered Horizon, which you might remember. That was that really good-looking outer space FPS with some pretty cool, unique features. Now they've made a tower defense game with a B-movie style to it by the looks of it, so... May I present to you the best-looking options menu ever made? Well, probably not the best-looking, but certainly up there. The aesthetic of the game from the menu screens is pretty awesome. If you look at how to play, for instance, they've really got this sort of 50s style down. Very similar to how Atom Zombie Smasher did things. I like that. I like the fact that they're dedicated to this particular style of doing things. That helps. Aesthetic is very important. So, without further ado, let's kick it off. And here we go.
Far beyond the orbit of Neptune, the scientists of space-based Zulu discover Lowell's Planet X. One of the greatest questions of all time has been answered. Man is not alone in space. The world watches as telescopes reveal the strange cities of an advanced civilization. War hero Captain Atom and his fiancée Ariel, winner of the Miss Solar System pageant, travel to Planet X to greet our galactic neighbors. Celebration turns to panic as a vast armada of flying saucers is launched. Will Captain Atom arrive in time to save the scientists?
That's a very good question. Let's see as to whether or not that happens. So, already I like the fact that they have really gone all out with this B-movie theme, including actually filming black and white stuff. I don't know how much of that is stock footage and how much they made themselves, but I even noticed the little spaceships were actually on wires there with a sparkler at the back. It's brilliant. All right, okay. A Gorg drone. Alrighty then. It attacks nearby satellites with its crackling death ray, and there's also a Gorg mothership. That looks rather unpleasant. Don't let satellites get too close to the Gorg mothership. Alright, defend space base Zulu by building satellites and protecting the base from harm to earn a Defender medal. Alright. I can skip the tutorial if I so desire, but you know what's probably not a good idea. Let's build a satellite. Solar generator. Alright, let's pump it here. Okay, so that gives money. Fine, no problem. It's easy enough. Easy enough concept going on right there. Research lab. Do I really want to build that so close to the mothership? Certainly I hope that that doesn't get shot to pieces. Get a research token. Earn the scientist medal. Alright. Now what? Alright, so they're spinning around and doing general spinny things. Alright, let's build a gun. That sounds good. There we go. Satellite is in play. Alright, so we can actually reposition inside the orbit pattern. So we can move it right there. That's one of the gimmicks of this game in terms of it not being a usual tower defense, is that you can move things around, but they move in specific orbit patterns. In this case, the Gorg drones are on their way, so let's see what ends up happening shortly. There we go. Our Vulcan cannon is working on those fellows, as you would expect them to. But they also fire back, so that's something to consider. I often find that a lot of enemies simply do not do that in tower defense games. It's generally a case of they will go around the maze and they will try and reach the end. If they reach the end, you lose a life. Here, they will actually shoot at you, so that's something to consider. Alright, fantastic. We've beaten the first wave. I'm feeling proud. Let's see what we can do with it. We can sell it, or we can repair it. Let's do just that. Okay, let's get it fixed up. There's a little bit more interactivity there. I think what a lot of companies are working on at the moment when it comes to tower defense games is the fact that TDs are generally very passive. Some people actually like that. That's something to consider. But a lot of modern TDs such as Trenched, or is it Iron Brigade they're calling it now for some stupid-ass reason. I think they had to rename because of some other game or company or whatever. Stuff like that has a more active element in it. Revenge of the Titans did, and then they actually removed some of that, so... It's an intriguing balance, isn't it? Like, what should we do? Should we make it more active? Should we make it less active? Alright, let's reorientate our guns right there. So you're still limited in the places that you can put them, but you're not limited in terms of the ability to move them around. So it's a fairly nice balance right there. Once again, I do like the aesthetic very much. It's quite a good-looking game. Right? It's certainly not as good-looking as Shattered Horizon. That was fairly amazing in terms of how it looked. Oh, okay. Right, so if you go too close, then you get zapped by that. So that's something to consider. You got to be a little bit careful there. All right, let's get that one fixed up, shall we? And back on its feet as best we can. All right, so we've got to fill these bars to earn medals. Looks like we've earned the research medal there. We should have the investor medal momentarily. And one assumes you have to simply protect those satellites to make that work. For some reason, the sound is very, very quiet there. It might actually be worth upping the sound effects, because I'd be interested to hear that. But I can't do it from inside the game because you can't access the options menu. Oh, why does that happen? There's actually an increasing number of games that don't allow you to access the options menu if you're currently in-game. Don't do that! Don't do it. Oh, there's also a speed up. Cool. That's good. All right, successful! I get achievements and all of these medals. It's giving me loads of medals. I'm so very proud. That one looks French. Why does that one look French? Anyway. Onward we must go. I'm going to pop back to the options menu for a second and see if we can up this. Usually the sound balance is fine, but you never know with some games. I'm going to up the sound volume to about 20. There we go, that should hopefully give us what we need. Now, what you've also got are challenges and arcade modes, which unlock after the first story mode is done here. I'll have a look at challenges to see what's here, so I assume everything else is pretty much locked at the moment. Ah, so you get to do that same thing again, but there are various aspects to it. Why is there a panic button? Is that what just gets back into the menu? Okay. I like the fact that every part of the menu system has something wacky infused in it. That's good. Cool, so that's a harder version of the first level if you want to do that. I'm going to hit the panic button, get back there, and also this arcade mode. I have no idea what this is all about, but I'm encountering a new alien here. Interesting. The Abductor. Alright, so the arcade mode, it looks like, is just a much, much larger mode whereby you can just play to your heart's content. And I haven't really gotten anything here. I can pick my satellites before I start, but I've only unlocked the Vulcan so far, so that's what arcade mode does. Alright, let's go back to the story then, shall we? Alright. I can also up the difficulty level, and you can earn medals in various different things if you like. Alright, it is indeed war. Let's go.
New York, the scene of an unprecedented newsreel record as President Culver addresses world leaders. Across the solar system, preparations are made to protect Earth from the relentless march of the Gorg. Liftoff as satellites are sent to defend mankind's outposts among the stars. President Culver tells reporters there can be only one response to the Gorg threat. It's war.
Yes, indeed. Alright, let's see what we have. So, abductors. I didn't actually pay any attention to what they did whatsoever. Probably should have done that. Alright, let's choose our 3 satellites, shall we? Didn't get to research anything yet. Ah, satellite icons can be upgraded with research tokens. Excellent, excellent. Click the Vulcan icon to upgrade. Simple as that. And then 3 research tokens will get you the 3rd rank there, as you can see. Nice and easy. It even tells you what they do. An increased rate of fire is what I gain from this. Alright, let us begin. Let's start ourselves off with energy right there, and I've got no cash. It's okay, that will be generated momentarily. I probably should have plonked down a defensive building first, but I guess we'll be okay. Let's just fast forward it a little bit. Alright, they're on their way, but I do have some time to get a Vulcan cannon up before horrible things occur. Alright, Vulcan cannon in place. Let's roll it around to a better location. There we go. Is that enough to shut all these guys down? God, I hope so. Yeah, that's fine. Oh my, these guys might end up being a little bit unpleasant. Now, what we can do is check out the encyclopedia, which also, I love it. I love the aesthetic. I'm sorry, I adore it just the way that I like the aesthetic in Atom Zombie Smasher. It's good to see dedication to this kind of stuff. You can look at all of this stuff here. So if I was to look at Gorg destroy them again. Gorg Abductor. Alright, okay, it starts abducting the population using a teleportation beam. It's a fast guy, okay, something to avoid there. I'm going to get essentially a second gun in play. There we go, they can attack from there. And we need to get a research lab in because I want to earn that medal as well. Hopefully that should turn around and shoot that guy down without too much of a problem. Very, very nice. Oh, okay, and it actually starts spawning in different routes as well as we go along. This is nice. In terms of tower defense games, I'm certainly enjoying this one quite a bit thus far. I'm quite the TD fan, actually. I do like them. Ah, and it looks like you have to then pay for the upgrade, so it looks like I've only made the upgrade available. We could just twist that around there. I imagine this is going to get a lot more hectic as you go through the game. Alright. Well, let's speed it up here because that's fine. And then what we can do is we can upgrade this one. There we go. That's going to increase rate of fire. That's going to splat ourselves some aliens. We should be alright over there. Let's move around in that direction. Might want to get another gun turret down in that pattern as well. Ooh, now they're coming from this direction. Yeah, this is actually getting interestingly hectic at the start. I'm having fun here. It's getting my tower defense juices flowing. Let's get an upgrade on that so we can gun down just a little bit faster. Not let anything through. Fantastic. Alright, my research bar is pretty high. I don't need to build another research lab. I should be okay to do that by the end. Oh, actually, we're almost at the end. Maybe I'll get there in time, maybe I won't. Might be worth plonking down a second research lab just to make sure I make that in time. Because this, I believe, is the last wave. Okay, cool. I filled that bar, which means I get my precious medals. So important. Alright, no problem gunning those down. That is a lot of dudes coming in my direction. Might even have to end up dropping down another gun turret. Alright, let's plonk another gun turret in, swing it. No! Oh, damn, I put it on the same orbit. Oh, that's something to consider. I shouldn't have built it on that orbit. I should have built it on one of the outer orbits instead. Oh well, we should be alright. Not too concerned about that. I can also just swing this one around, and that can contribute too. So yeah, a more active form of tower defense. The orbit mechanics are very interesting, and they do make you think quite a bit as regards to how you want to respond to particular situations. And there we go, we have, needless to say, a new kind of satellite. Fairly common amongst tower defense games to be given different enemies and different satellite types and different towers and such.
It's one in the eye for Gorg. A humiliating defeat that sends the alien armada scuttling away in shame. As the saucers retreat from Neptune, Captain Adam rushes onwards to Saturn to prepare for the next encounter.
Now, the question is, how many levels are there? Well, turns out we can find out. There are 21 levels, and there are also challenge modes for each of those levels and an arcade mode. There is no multiplayer, from what I can see, so that might be a mark against it. Not necessarily. I mean, there are games that do work really well tower defense-wise with, say, the multiplayer option. I don't even know why I was having trouble coming up with that sentence there. That's really weird. I just had a brain freeze. Perhaps it's the alien mind control rays. Certainly a possibility. I should be wearing a tinfoil hat. Whatever the case, you can play, say, multiplayer on Soul Survivor. That's a good example. But not Defense Grid. Well, that was basic. Okay. Gorg Saucer. Right. Okay, so this one actually deals a lot of damage. That's something to consider there. And we can have a blast cannon. There we go. I also have 2 available research points. I'll put one into the blast cannon. I can upgrade my research lab. That's probably a good idea. Let's stack up some more research, shall we? Oh, hang on. That's interesting. So the upgrades don't maintain. So I guess you can reset the upgrades, put them on there. Let's have the 2 chevrons for that. And let's take that off there and put 2 chevrons in that as well. Okay, sorted. That should be reasonable. Alright, onward we go. Let's deal with this, shall we? First thing is first. Start generating some energy. Oh, they are starting early this time around, aren't they? Alright, one of the outer rings to begin with. I think what we'll do is we'll pull it back here. That is the optimal pattern. Means that you'll get the most possible firepower inflicted on that saucer as it rounds the corner. Basic tower defense principles, which no doubt many people already know. It's also dealing a fairly serious amount of damage. Wow, okay, I did not touch that bloody thing. Right, we need something a bit heavier then. Let's get the blast cannon in. Bring that into these rings over here. Swing it round into this location. And hopefully kill that saucer, otherwise we're in serious trouble. It's going to start doing damage. That thing is barely taking any hits whatsoever. I'm not impressed. There we go, finally it is eliminated. Took a while. Alright, we need to get that in immediately. Now things are starting to get very hectic indeed. I'm trying to keep track of everything. I should be okay around this corner by the looks of it. And now they've got a new path, which is actually going directly towards us. Not ideal. Not ideal. Oh my. This is only level 3. Things are getting rather hectic, aren't they? And now they're starting to beam stuff off of that. Not good. I need another cannon. Or I need to upgrade the existing one. I think another cannon's probably more beneficial. So I've already lost some health there. Let's twist that one around in this direction. Yeah, this has got some nice, neat, interesting, and innovative mechanics that I haven't really seen before in tower defense games, and the aesthetic helps to carry it as well. I think selling tower defense games has always been quite difficult because TDs originally started as mods for various games like Warcraft 3, even, of course, StarCraft Brood War before that. So asking people to buy a tower defense game often has them, like, say, what? No, I'm not going to pay for that. Why would I pay for that when I can get all these free TDs? But stuff like Defense Grid, I feel, has proven quite nicely. Oh, you can even move those buildings out of the way to buy yourself a bit of extra time as well. That there are premium tower defense games that are definitely worth playing and paying for. Indeed, they've grown to a massive amount of popularity on the iPad and iPhone devices for obvious reasons. They're a very popular smartphone genre. Can we at least kill those dudes? I think we're actually out of range at this point, so that's not working all that well. Get these guys out of the way. Ah, I have no range. I let them inside. My defenses. It certainly does get a little bit tricky as you go in, I can tell you that for a fact. We can upgrade the cannon there. Taking a lot of damage. I'm actually on the verge of losing this. That would be unpleasant, wouldn't it? I like the fact that it spawns additional routes as the mothership moves around, and then the mothership will actually attack you if you get too close to it. So they've put a, I suppose, a unique spin, one might say, on this particular genre, and they have done so in what appears to be a pretty solid fashion. It may interest you. It might be worth having a look at. Goes by the name of the Unstoppable Gorg. It's got quite a lot of content. I say it doesn't have multiplayer. And some people may not like the fact that you're having to pay for a tower defense game. And yes, there are plenty of free tower defense games that you can play if you like. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth having a look at something a little bit more premium, because this does offer quite a lot in terms of production values, as well as some interesting and innovative mechanics. And that's good, right? We like innovation. We definitely do like the innovation. Now, before I think I'll just let myself die, because there might be some funny cutscene. We'll see how that is. That might be amusing to watch. Turns out we definitely needed more guns than we currently have. I'll tell you that for a fact. By level 3, it's already getting hectic. I love that. That's fantastic. It doesn't muck about, this game. Oh no! We have been defeated. There we go. But yes, the Unstoppable Gorg. Not too shabby at all. Some good innovation in this tower defense game. Might be worth having a look at. It should be out on Steam by the time that you see this video. My name's been Totalbiscuit, and I will see you next time.